Should you start an online TikTok shop business, TikTok affiliate marketing business, or a local service business? So my name's Dan and I started my own business about 3.5 years ago in garden maintenance and exterior cleaning. But in that time, I've also spent time selling things on TikTok shop for a whole year, in fact. So I'm going to talk about what I think is the best option for you if you're weighing up whether to get involved in selling things on TikTok and online, or whether you're thinking about starting a local service business like gardening, window cleaning, carpet cleaning, those kind of things. So first of all, let's talk about TikTok shop and some of the pros and cons. So I started selling things on TikTok. Some of the pros of selling things on TikTok are like working from home. So you can work from home, you can set up your tripod in the living room, and you can start making content and putting your link in the video and selling things for a commission. So it's flexible, you can be at home, you can be doing other things during your day, you can go out for walks, you can kind of do whatever you want whilst you're not filming, because you're at home, you're not out somewhere at a premises or in a garden or pressure washing for the whole day. Secondly, you get shitloads of free stuff. So when you get involved in something like TikTok shop, brands will want to work with you. So for example, this t-shirt I got for free, this ring light I got for free, that's like 70 quid. I mean, this t-shirt is probably what, a t-shirt now is probably like 20, 30 quid. I've had electric scooters, I've had electric bikes, I've had projectors. I'm looking at things, some of the things in front of me now. Protein boxes full of protein bars and all sorts of stuff. So that is a benefit if you like lots of things and getting lots of free things. But for me, it was a bit of a negative because I'm a bit of a minimalistic person. I don't like to have lots of things in my life. I don't like lots of tat lying everywhere. And I think that mentally used to annoy me, having loads of stuff everywhere. Some things are great, some things are not so good, and they just end up sticking around the house, and it is a bit annoying having them around. Thirdly is low expenses. So when you do something like TikTok shop or selling online, you've got very limited overheads. So you use a laptop, you might use your phone to record as well. You use your laptop for searching for products, things like that. You use your phone to film your content and post on TikTok or Instagram or whatever the live selling platform is that you're on. So the overheads are seriously low unless you're buying products, which if you are going to go into TikTok shop or you're doing that now, I would recommend doing that, because when you get free stuff, it's often the things that everybody's selling, whereas when you buy things that you think's got potential based on your research, there's going to be less people selling that product because it costs something and they've got to go out of the way and actually pay for it rather than getting it for free. So let's talk about some of the negatives or cons that I think are cons. So it might be different for you. You might like being indoors, but my first one is being indoors. I don't particularly like being indoors all day. I love being outside. I get my energy from being outside in the gardens. I enjoy that. You might like being indoors, working from home, that might suit you, but it didn't really suit me. The next con is something I've already touched on, is all the stuff you have, all the clutter you have. If you're a minimalistic person and you don't like lots of stuff lying everywhere, then you probably won't enjoy getting into TikTok shop. And that leads me on to something else, is the fulfillment that you get from doing the work. So for me, just selling loads of random crap all day wasn't very fulfilling. And a lot of the stuff that I was selling, I personally didn't think was very good, but because I'd had a sample from that company and the expectancy was that I was going to create 1, 2, 3 videos or whatever it might be, I'd have to promote that product. And to me, that just didn't feel right at times, and I didn't really enjoy that. Another con of doing something like TikTok shop and selling online is your payments come through painfully slowly. Let's say you make £1,000 in a week selling air conditioner units, as probably loads of people have, and loads more in the last few weeks in the UK when it's been really hot. The payments don't come through straight away. So you might earn £1,000, it might say estimated commission £1,000, but you might not get that money until 2-3 months down the line. It depends when that manufacturer or supplier or brand decides to pay. Do they pay when the product is sold, or do they pay when the product's been delivered? And the other thing to mention is that it might say estimated sales of £1,000, estimated commission of £1,000, for example, but that doesn't factor into all the people that have cancelled their order. If you get cancellations over the next coming days for that order, your commission is readjusted. So that is something to consider as well. So let's move on to the garden maintenance and exterior cleaning business and the pros and cons. And that can be likened to other service businesses as well. But for me, the garden maintenance and exterior cleaning business, one of the biggest pros is being outside. I love being outside, as I mentioned at the start. Being indoors all day sends me a bit crazy. And if you're indoors and you've got a family, there's kind of like an expectancy that because you're at home, you can do more stuff at home and you're not really at work. So being outside, you can crack on with the work. For me, it makes me feel good being out in nature. Another pro to having your own local service business is you'll work with the general public. Sometimes that can be a con, and I'll come on to that. But one of the big pros of working with the general public is there's lots of lovely people out there. You'll meet new people. Sometimes you'll even make friends from meeting new customers, and people are generally nice. So it's good to go to people's houses, do a really good job and see how happy they are with the work that you've produced. Another pro with having your own local service business would be payment. So usually you get paid on the day. Yeah, okay, some people will drag their feet and pay you a couple of days later or a week later, or they want to pay you when they get paid. But 9 times out of 10, people will pay you on the day after doing that job, as opposed to when you're doing something like TikTok Shop and you get paid when the seller wants to pay you. That could be in a week's time, a month's time, 3 months' time, or even 5-6 months' time. Another big pro, I think, for having your own local service business like gardening, carpet cleaning, dog walking, window cleaning, whatever it might be, is it's quite scalable. So once you start doing the jobs and you start to build up a good reputation, and you can start to see how much money can be made by adding extra people into the business, you can quickly see how you can scale the business. Whereas when you're doing TikTok Shop, okay, you might pick on a product that does really well in the summer, for example, like air conditioning units, and make loads of money, but it's quite hard to see how you can scale that. Can you get more people doing that for you on TikTok? I'm not sure. I just think that a local service business is probably a lot more scalable than doing something like TikTok Shop. And also TikTok Shop, being a TikTok affiliate on TikTok Shop, you are very much renting a place on the algorithm. When you create your own service business and service brand, that's yours. So you're building a potential tangible asset that you can sell in the future. So some of the cons of having your own local service business or garden maintenance or exterior cleaning business is you need a lot of stuff to actually do the work. So for example, for garden maintenance, you might need things like a lawnmower, a trimmer, a blower, hand tools. For exterior cleaning, like pressure washing, you'll need a pressure washer, flat surface cleaner, brooms, brushes, buckets, you name it. There's loads of stuff, gutter cleaning equipment, window cleaning equipment. There's so many things you'll need to buy and then also maintain as well. So the overheads are pretty high. You don't have to spend loads of money to get started though. You can just get real cheap things and second-hand and low entry products to get started. But as you go, you'll buy more and more things and end up wanting to upgrade. So it is quite overhead heavy. So another con, much like the pros, would be customers. Now, like I said, 9 times out of 10, people are really nice, but there's always that one person who makes your life really difficult and it can be really stressful. And you do have to have a level of resilience to be in the local service business, because although it's only 1 in 10, you might get one person up per week or per month, and it can cause a lot of hassle, a lot of stress, and drain a lot of your energy. But as you go, you build up a thicker skin, more resilience, and those sort of things come and they just go, and you just move on to the next customer. So to summarize, what do I think is best, the local service business or doing something like TikTok Shop or selling online? So for me, I think a local service business is better suited to me as a person, especially in the garden maintenance, exterior cleaning business, because I love being outside. You might be different. You might like lots of things and that might suit you better. I'm more minimalistic. I don't like lots of things, lots of clutter. So for me, I prefer a local service business. Both businesses give you a level of freedom. For example, when you're doing TikTok Shop or whatever it might be, you can work from home. You're at home. If you've got kids, you can be with the kids and you can go out for a walk in between videos, things like that. And the same for a local service business. That brings lots of freedom as well, because you haven't got to work every day in the week. You can choose when you have your weekend. For example, you might have Monday and Tuesdays off, work the rest of the week, or you might choose to work every day of the week but finish at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, have an early finish, and you can go and do whatever you want. And also I think local service businesses are just really scalable, and that's what I'm trying to do with my business, grow it step by step. At the moment, I'm a solo operator. What does the future hold? I don't know. Do I want to be just a really successful solo operator? Do I want to test out taking on extra staff? I've gone down the subcontractor route. Am I going to go down that again this year? I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes. I'm also trying to build a YouTube channel, as you can see. I'm not a YouTuber, I'm not a video editor, so I'm kind of just winging this. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, give me a like and a subscribe. I'm going to bring lots more content to the channel. I want to interview local service business owners as well, to talk to them about how they set their business up, how much it costs them, how much they can make, what are their challenges, what are their goals, ambitions, all those kind of things as well, guys. And I do have a full step-by-step video course that you can watch for literally £10. It's about 2.5 hours in content, which talks you through everything that I wish I'd have known when I'd started, from literally starting your company, choosing sole trader or limited, your accounts, the full lead system that I created organically to actually generate 5k months consistently as well. If you want that, I'll link it in the description. But if you just want to follow the journey, guys, and watch more of my content and watch any of the upcoming interviews that I might have on the channel, then drop me a like and a subscribe. See you on the next one.